What do make and take mean in relation to buy and sell for direction of leg 1 and 2? Firstly, is make and take the same as market maker and market taker? No, they are not the same concepts and should not be confused with each other. Market makers act by initiating transaction orders and making the market liquid, basically influencing the market with their pricing power. Market takers are those who execute transaction orders, accept the prevailing market price, and are essentially consuming liquidity. These are different to the make and take concepts, which focus on the actual making and taking of payments in a leg of a transaction. Next, we'll discuss how to identify the roles of the parties in Direction 1 and Direction 2. Direction 1 of a transaction shows whether the reporting entity is the buyer, BYER, or the seller, SLLR. Direction 1 is not required where a value for Direction 2 leg 1 is required. Direction 1 or the identification of buyer or seller is only required for OTCs. Where a UPI is reported for a forward, excluding FX. That are options, contracts for difference, excluding FX CFDs, or credit default swaps. Where an OTC's underlier relates to a measure of variance, volatility, or another attribute that may change in value, excluding its price, or where a value is not reported for Direction 2, leg 1. For Direction 2, items 15 and 16, the fields identify which party in the leg of Direction 2 of a transaction is the party who makes and takes a payment. These fields are required for most swaps, interest rate swaps, credit total return swaps, and equity swaps, excluding CDSs, variance, volatility, and correlation swaps. FX swaps, forwards, non-deliverable forwards, and FX CFDs. Leg 1 identifies whether the reporting entity is the pair or receiver for this leg. It is a conditional requirement to have either make or take reported in this item. The ASIC Technical Guidance provides that for certain types of OTCs, the parties to leg 1 in Direction 2 of a transaction are as follows. Pair is the party making the payment, which is make, and receiver is the party receiving the payment, which is take. Leg 2 identifies the parties in the opposite roles as described for leg 2 in the transaction, i.e. the reverse of leg 1. If leg 1 of Direction 2 is required to be reported, leg 2 of Direction 2 must also be reported. There must be a value listed for either Direction 1, or both Direction 2, leg 1 and leg 2. Let's go through an example of the application of Direction 2. In this example, ABC brokerage firm enters into an FX swap with its client trader, XYZ. XYZ wishes to trade by buying 100 lots of AUD, USD, and swap at the end of 2 weeks. In this case, if XYZ buys these lots and the AUD goes up, XYZ receives the payment, which is take. If the USD goes up, XYZ loses money and makes payment, so make. The reverse of this scenario would apply to ABC brokerage as it is the seller of the 100 lots of the AUD, USD, currency pair under the FX swap entered into, between the two parties. If you need assistance in understanding the requirements under the global trade reporting regimes and how to do your reporting, please contact us. Traction, Trade Reporting Simplified.